Yeah, is alive.
And action! Okay.
It's rolling?
It's a rolling. It's a rolling. Okay. Make sure, just double check. I'll tell you what, this is the way to tell. If the light is blinking and we see ourselves.
I see
Right
myself.
there. You see yourself and the light, the red light is on.
Okay. I like your shirt.
Well, thank you. It's a comfortable shirt.
It
Amazon?
is comfortable.
Amazon, of course. I do Amazon. That means I don't even have to go outside of the house. Just click a few buttons. I see your child. The child.
Oh, he's so cute.
What's he eating?
Looks like curly fries, maybe?
Oh, that's his lunch. Yes.
Did you make them in the air fryer?
Yes.
I made chicken nuggets in shaped like ABCs with the potatoes.
The ABC potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it says like 10 to 13 minutes. I think mine was like 6.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. They
Oh,
they
wow.
always overestimate. The thing with that is, do you have an air fryer?
No.
Oh, it does certain things perfectly.
Yeah, fried like anything you buy that's
Like you
can
could
fry,
bake
like
or
French
fry.
fries, chicken nuggets, chicken patties, anything like that. The appetizers, man, quick.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds like
they're
my
not
kind
that
of thing.
expensive. Mine was $89.
Yeah, I think that's what I spent for mine. I was 89.
So not too
So,
bad,
but you know
it's
what? Now
very
that I have that, I wouldn't mind having a massive air fryer
just to make all your meals in.
just to make everything
Everything.
in,
Whole
you know,
turkey.
Yeah.
one time.
I saw the air fried bacon that you made.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
It's
Now
really
that
good.
was thick bacon, not the thin, because the thin kind of shrivels up, but the
Yeah.
thick bacon, cut it in half, put a little. See, that's the thing. You can only put in a little bit at a time,
Yeah.
but it just did it
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah.
I think that took 8 minutes to do that.
Wow.
So,
That's nice.
yeah, it is nice unless you're making for a feast of people. Then that's where
Oh,
you
boy.
need the big.
The
Yes.
massive one.
Yeah, the massive air fryer. So here we are once again for Talk Time, but today it's not going to be Talk Time with Doug and Tonya. It's going to be Talk Time with
Lindsay.
And Nikki.
Lindsay and Nikki, because they're the ones who are going to do most of the talking. I say that now, but I will be talking. But first off, what questions should we ask? This is the last time people will be able to put into the drawing that we're going to have at the end of the month. We have several names that are already in the drawing for $25 gift cards. I haven't decided yet how many I'm going to give away. It depends on how many people put their
okay.
names in. So what questions should we ask them? Now today's topic is about mothers, young mothers, and what did you want that topic to be about? Was it the struggles, or what was it of young mothers?
Well, just talking about, I guess the
What-
struggles and
Just life in
what
general.
life is like as a young, mom.
Okay, okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So what would be a good question to ask people if they just comment on this video? What would be a good question to ask them so that they can get their names in the drawing? Simple. It has to be simple.
Like, how old were you when you
There you go.
had your first child?
There you go.
There you go. How old were you when you had your first child? This could be men or women could answer this question. So if you're a papa or a mama, how old were you when you had your first child? And we'll put you in the drawing that will take place at the end of the month for a big whopping $25 gift cards. Or just cold hard cash if they stop by
Cold hard cash.
the office. So, all right, girls, we're going to get started. Did you guys have anything you want to say before I go and ask you just some questions to get conversation going? No? You're good? You just want me to ask a question to get started?
Well,
Which one did you find? I gave the kids a list of some of the questions. Of course, we're not going to ask all of these, but some of the questions that might be asked.
well, not so much. Well, the reason that I had thought of this was I feel like, for me personally, I don't feel like I have a lot of people that I can talk to about the struggles of being a mom in general,
Yes.
but also being younger when I got pregnant and then being single as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like a part of me feels a little bit embarrassed to talk about it. Like, I feel like I'm ashamed a little. There's a little bit of shame associated with it since I wasn't married.
Oh, yeah.
There's still a little bit of a stigma that
I
that
didn't look up to
behavior
stuff.
is sinful. So I almost
Yeah.
feel like I can't talk about it sometimes
Mhm.
because I made a choice, and I can't complain because I did that. It was my own stupid mistake or stupid.
Yeah.
It was my young choice that I made, and now I'm where I am. So I feel like some people might say, well, how can she complain about that? She made a choice, and this is what she has to deal with the consequences. So I almost feel a level of not feeling like I can talk about it openly because of that. There's a little bit of, and I've been brought up all my life in the church pretty much, and you're taught that that kind of behavior is sinful. So there's still that in the back of my head, like I guess it's kind of, maybe I shouldn't feel like that, but I do. So I feel like if I'm feeling like that, this isn't an uncommon thing that happens to people. People get pregnant whether they're married or they're not. So I just felt like maybe other moms might need to hear that. Like, it's okay to feel how you're feeling. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through. It's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just because you made a choice and it got you where you are, that's okay.
That's okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You're still allowed to feel maybe disappointed. You're still allowed to feel overwhelmed. Maybe you're allowed to feel alone.
Yeah.
You're still allowed, even though things didn't work out quite, you didn't anticipate what was going to happen, you're still allowed to feel that way. So I just felt, it hit me one day in the car, I was like, you know what? If I'm feeling like this, I'm sure there's other people that are feeling maybe like this too. So.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsay is the one who decided that we were going to have this talk time. She got a hold of me and thought it would be nice to talk about young mothers and the things they go through. And that's something that you did bring that up, and we'll have to speak loudly because the camera's way down there. It's like, hello. But that is a good point. And I looked up some stuff, some common misconceptions on single moms, because you were single too when you had your first child. You had Dan, but I mean, you weren't married.
Yeah, we weren't married.
So you're technically a single mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who is not married is technically a single mom, just like Dan was a single parent. You both were single parents, and a lot of times there is stigma with that. And people will say, well, they made the stupid choice, they're getting what they deserve, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
In all reality, I haven't looked anything up, but the thing is, you just happened to get pregnant with something that other people just lucked out and didn't get pregnant. So it's not
it can happen to everybody.
It's,
some people doesn't happen.
It just isn't. It's just that you have the proof that you were
people
people
know
that you had relations outside of marriage, where other people can be having relations with who knows who outside of marriage, but they don't have any visible proof. You have a screaming child that is saying, here I am.
A big belly.
A big belly.
For 9 months.
Excuse me, here I go.
So I just...
And you know what, though, the great thing is, even though in the Bible that is classified as sin to have any sexual relations outside of marriage. So it doesn't matter if you've had a baby and whatnot, any relationship. But the great thing is that God is a God of love. He loves us no matter what stupid things we do. He doesn't say, well, you know what? I'm done with you, Lindsay. You screwed up. Sorry. So long. He's like, hey, Lindsay, just here I am. Just let me know. I'm right here for you, girl. So he is going to protect you and lift you up. The people who look down upon you is the ones that God is more upset with, because he hates pride, he hates prejudice, he hates all of that type of behavior.
Sinning just as much.
That's sinning just as bad, but we don't see that as a thing. And also, too, the wonderful thing is, our church has never turned you away because of your mistakes. I think it's actually with welcome arms. You are welcome. They love you. They love Jack. So I think also, even though it is a sin, the church can also be a great supporter for young mothers, for single fathers, for just young families in general. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Okay, let me see. Which one do I want to start with? Well, speaking of that, this goes right off of that. Whoever wants to start first, you guys just talk. Do you think a married family with children is any better than an unmarried relationship with kids? If so, why? What would be the benefits of being a married family with children more so than an unmarried?
The first thing that comes to my mind is, with married couples, it would be more stability.
Right.
But, like in my case with Paul, like we've been together almost 6 years and we're not married.
You're technically, though, you're raising your children in the same household, though.
Yeah.
Paul is there, you are there. In this case, I'm kind of thinking of, I know people don't agree with this, but to me, if you and Paul have made a commitment together to raise your child together, I'm not talking just that you got the marriage certificate to prove it.
Yeah.
So we're talking, is it better to have a family, a father, mother raising the child versus a single parent? That is the question.
Yeah, I would say,
What would your benefits be? And that's where we're getting to is
Yeah.
there's definitely benefits.
there's benefits to having to being married.
To
I
being
get-
married.
Well, but in Nikki's case though, you and Paul aren't married, but you're still raising a child together, and
Yeah.
you're committed to each
You're
other.
committed
Yeah.
to each other.
So that's different
so
than
like-
like you and Cody. You know, that situation is different than with like you and Paul.
Paul,
Yeah.
And yeah, so is that been more beneficial to have you and Paul have, like you guys are together, you have a
Raising
baby
a
together.
child.
Can you see the difference with that situation compared to before?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Like, cause I would say, and even whenever I was younger, mom and dad weren't together. Like, I would say it's easier on the kid
Mm-hmm.
for the
Right.
parents to be together, so then they're not being shuffled back and forth every week, even, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is better. It's more stability. I don't know which one of you said there is stability there.
It is.
But they know that mom and dad is there and they have both parents.
Yeah, they understand what a family unit is.
A family
like
unit.
there is obviously we're supposed to be, or supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's
how
how
God
it's-
wanted us
that's
to be.
how
to
God
have a
wanted it.
mom and to have the parents there for stability. Really,
Well, yeah.
to have a family unit.
Yeah.
You know, so
Everything in this country starts with the family. If the family disintegrates, that's where the problems begin.
Mhm.
and
So
yeah, when there's only. It is much nicer when you have somebody you can rely on. That's
Yeah.
there, and you know they're going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
It isn't just you guys are married. You have a commitment. You know, at the end of the day, you are in it together.
Together.
Whether it's like in my case, even though I'm with Brady, I'm still. It's all the burden is on me.
You are
He's there.
still- yeah.
He's there.
yeah,
Comes and goes. You know, but he's
Yeah.
not. It's not the same.
it's not the
I'm
same.
the sole person that's responsible for that child. So, it's just, of course, far better to have two
Sure.
people that you know.
And do
Yeah.
you see why God would consider it a sin? Anything that is sinful usually is harmful for us. So
Right.
if we have sex outside of marriage before we're ready to make that commitment,
It's
You
just
see
make
how
your life
it-
harder.
it just makes
It
life
could make
harder.
your life harder. You know how we,
Yeah, if you do it in what God's timing is, to make the commitment first to come together, and then
Right.
if you have children, then they are going to be a welcome thing. It's not going to be like
such a.
an oh crap, I
Yeah.
got pregnant, you know.
Well, yeah. So in that case, yes, it would
Yes.
be much better if the child knew
Yes,
and they
they're-
had an example of what a family is.
yes,
And
and
the
a
child will
family,
grow up knowing, oh, you know what? I have my mom. I have my
and a
dad.
dad, yeah,
They're both here in the same house.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they work together.
Mm-hmm.
And even though not all, of course, that would. I know people have their issues and things, even in a marriage, but still.
Well, yeah, that's where it comes into play. Is that's why it's so important to make that commitment to work together, because life is hard.
Yeah, the whole
And if
the
you-
little-
Yeah, it's hard the whole way through, and not everybody should be married, but because not everybody's ready for it. Not everybody's ready for that commitment, and that's why
Yeah.
marriage should come first and children should come second.
Yes.
But wouldn't that be
Yes.
great? Wouldn't it? Yes. Okay.
We know, we
Worked
got
out
it.
like that. Well, I can't talk. I got pregnant at the age of 18, so. But I'm not the one who's putting in the information. This is about you girls here today.
Okay, well,
so
no, well, I
we'll let
asked
my-
you because you have.
We'll
you
let
have
my
experience.
we'll let my sinful background out back here somewhere.
Leave that back there.
Leave that back there. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about what was your first reaction when you found out you were pregnant. Do you remember what you did when you headed into the doctor's appointment? Do you remember kind of brushing me off going down the steps?
No.
You didn't tell me where you were going, or was it to
No, I don't remember that. I remember coming to your office after.
Well, that.
I had known for a while though.
Yeah, but I was thinking you were going though for the little ultrasound that day to verify.
I had known though. That was at
You
the end of March. I knew the beginning of March.
You had known, but I think I knew you had a doctor's appointment. But I was
probably
thinking it was
did.
for a yearly
I would have definitely
checkup.
brushed her off.
Yeah, I was thinking it was just like a yearly checkup, you know.
Oh.
But Lindsay, I can remember you kind of just like, I'd say, oh, you going to the doctor? Yeah. She just kind of ignored me going down the steps. I just see her there, and it's like, and I of course didn't think anything of it, but yeah, that was, so when you went and saw that little teeny little thing on the ultrasound, what was your thoughts?
Well, I had taken the pregnancy test at the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm.
And I took like 2, and they both said pregnant. And like, still, I was in denial. I was
Yeah,
like, there's no way. I was
There's
like,
no way.
There's no
Even
way.
though they're like 99% effective.
So I remember being like in the bathroom downstairs. I looked in the mirror, and I kind of like smirked because I was like didn't really know how to react.
Yeah.
But I was still really in denial. Like, there's
Yeah.
probably I went to go to the doctor, but the doctor they won't let you go to your like 6-8 weeks.
Yeah,
They won't even see you. So I was like, oh my gosh. So then I did go to the doctor then, and normally they don't do the ultrasound the same day, but he was able to slide me in that same day. So I went to the doctor. They didn't even have me do any tests. They just like took my word.
Yeah.
Because then I knew I was like, well, those things must be.
Oh,
darn.
they're accurate.
They must not be,
Yeah.
inaccurate. So then he got me in, and once I saw the little thing on the ultrasound, I said to the lady, "What am I going to tell my mom?" Yeah, it was like when she saw it and you saw the little picture. It went from being completely like scared to almost a little bit of excitement.
Yeah.
It was almost
Yeah.
a little bit of like,
There's a
wow,
little baby in jail.
there's a thing in there. So there was mostly fear, but there was that a little bit of excitement, which
Yeah. There was
Her-
fear. Her fear was of my wrath. My wrath.
I told the lady she didn't know what to tell me.
Yeah.
And then they normally don't print out like that. For some reason, I was an add-on for the day. She couldn't really tell me anything.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm going to print these little pictures out for you. I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm
Uh-huh.
going to do that. Cause I think it's because I was just so overwhelmed. I was like, just don't tell anyone. Okay. So, yeah, I was shocked.
I remember you texted me after that.
I did.
And
I
told
can't remember
me.
anything. It was such a blur.
Because she texted me. She's like, hey, are you going to be home? I was just like, well, I got to pick Paul up from work, but then I'll be home.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay. So I go to pick Paul up, and I let him know that she's coming over, and I was like, she says she has to tell me something. He was like, she's pregnant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, that's just like a given.
Yeah. I'm just like, no. I'm not Lindsay.
Yeah, exactly.
Not our little goody two-shoes, Lindsay.
And then she comes over and tells me, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was so excited.
Yep. Now,
That
of
was
course,
awesome.
Nikki and Lindsay are cousins. Nikki is my niece, and I don't think I said that at the beginning. But they practically lived together in the summers. I forget when I can't forget when you moved to Florida. How old were you when you moved to Florida?
I think I just turned 11.
Okay. Well, you guys spent a lot of time before that, and then you come home for some visits.
Yeah, I come home for the summer and pretty much live here.
Lived here. So you girls were just two giddy little girls. So, well, of course, that would be something you would let Nikki know almost immediately.
That's
So,
funny.
but no, that was fun. Nikki, what did you think?
I was in complete shock. I'm pretty sure, like, I have to tell the story because I had, like, a really bad toothache the day before that. And I was like, we went to Del Grosso's or something, and it was like 105 degrees.
Oh, those fun times.
Yes, it was a great day to go. And then I remember like going to the bathroom because I felt sick, and then I'm on my knees in front of the toilet, and then I'm almost like fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then the next day, still had the toothache. It was Dan's sister's baby shower,
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up going to the hospital to see if they could give me anything for this toothache, and they had me pee in a cup because I couldn't remember when my last period was.
Yeah.
And then we're waiting in a room. The doctor comes in and it's just like, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like, what? Like,
well, thank you.
I was waiting for him to say he was joking or something.
Yeah.
Get
Then
out.
Get out.
And then the
Yeah.
nurse comes in and was just like, yeah, you're pregnant. And then I just start crying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, instantly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And,
What a way to find out.
right?
Just somebody just
That's
bluntly,
complete shock.
yeah, like to randomly say, oh, you're pregnant.
You had no further, like, at least I had a pregnancy test, you know.
Yeah. Like, I
You
had,
didn't have any
It was just like,
anticipation.
yeah, you're just
No.
going for a toothache.
yeah.
It's like, wait,
Yeah.
whoa.
Last time I go to the hospital for a toothache.
Yeah.
That's what I always
Never
say.
again.
And
That's a good
after the
story.
initial shock wore off, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, all right. But yeah, because I didn't think I could get pregnant because I'm sinful. I have had scares before,
Yeah.
and it just never.
I'm sinful.
Nikki.
And they all, it was all negative. So I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, well, maybe I can't
Just
get
figured
pregnant.
this was another, yeah, like,
Yeah.
no, it's not. I haven't gotten pregnant before.
Yeah, like surprise.
Yeah, like I didn't know that could happen if I didn't get pregnant before, but yeah, it can,
Yeah.
folks, I'm here to tell
That's a
you.
good
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
I like that one. I remember
That's
that
a-
story.
That is a good story.
That's
I
a
love
good
that.
story. That'll be a good one. You can tell the kids when they get a little older that they should not be sinful because it can,
Exactly.
you know, they'll learn from it. Let's see. And I know this is a good question. I know some people love being pregnant. Some people just think it's the best thing ever. But what did you girls what was the hardest thing about being pregnant?
The hardest thing for me with Cody was not being able to do things as easily as I could, like tie my shoes
Oh,
or
yeah, that's getting rid of it.
shave
Yeah.
or, you know,
Just basic stuff.
yeah, it's just, with Maya, there's so many things.
Yeah, that was the second time around. So the second one the first time the body is still able to bounce back pretty quickly.
Yeah, not the
Second time, it's just like, oh crap.
Yeah, that one was rough.
That one was rough. Maya's 9 months old, so, and Cody's turning 7
Today, yeah.
today. So, yep. Lindsay, hardest
Um,
thing about you being pregnant?
You know, the pregnancy, I don't recall it being that, I mean, it's such a blur.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had some complications, but,
Yeah, you
and
did.
Jack was 6 weeks early, so I kind of missed that last hard 6
Yeah.
weeks, you know,
Yeah,
where you're
that's
really
true.
bloated and,
Yeah.
you know, I kind of missed that, but, I mean, I still worked those 6 days a week on my feet.
You did really well
I
considering.
did really well.
And I think it did make a difference the last 6 weeks weren't there because, Lindsay, you got about as big as I was in my second month. You looked like, I looked like Lindsay did at 2 months when she was ready to give birth. So,
I don't know.
you just kind of gained it right here in your
Yeah, it was
belly, a little
weird.
bit.
I
little
didn't get
belly.
any.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So I was lucky.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't really remember. I still pretty much did everything the same.
Yeah,
I
she
was
did.
tired. I napped,
Mm-hmm.
and like I remember near the end, I couldn't eat very much because I felt like it was no room in there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't eat. That was annoying, obviously. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like to eat.
Well, who doesn't?
And-
Who doesn't
Food
like
is
to eat?
great.
Yeah.
As hard as other than you know, just the fact that I was pregnant and
Just knowing
people
it.
knew that I wasn't married.
Yeah.
And I was working at Friendship Village and the Green Harvest, so both jobs where I was very seen by the people.
Yeah.
Like people
Mhm.
could see visibly.
Yeah.
So you know, just having to explain that to people, you know,
Yeah.
haven't seen some people for a while. Oh, you're pregnant, yeah. Oh, you know, then they want to like know more, and you're like, yeah, but I'm not married.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me just get that out right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just that, but I don't really remember having
Yeah.
anything that I thought of. Oh, this is so frustrating every day.
Yeah, you did keep going, yeah. I just couldn't sleep near the end. It was like uncomfortable.
I was so uncomfortable, like probably the last month or so.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
that's
it
when
was
it gets the
just-
worst.
Yeah. It was so funny. I gave him an eviction notice the day, technically the day before I
Yeah.
had him.
Did you put the little sign on your belly? It's
No,
time
I-
to get the heck out?
No, I didn't. I just told him, I was like, listen here, I was like, you're getting evicted.
Yeah,
And then
get out.
he came like
he
the
heard
next
you.
morning.
He heard you. He
Yeah.
knew. He
I
knew
was like, I
he
was
was in
just
trouble. Let's just see. So, well, you both didn't seem to really be overly enjoying of your pregnancy, but nothing too bad. What were your first thoughts when you saw your baby? The first time you got to hold your little tyke? Lindsay, well, you both had C-sections.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
it's
weren't-
not-
you
don't get that
were-
immediate.
You didn't have that immediate, and you would.
Yeah, everyone else got to, I think, see him before I did. Did you
Oh
guys
yeah,
get to see him?
we saw him. I literally they wheeled him out in one of those little
Incubators.
Yeah.
incubators. Put him here. He's only 3.5 pounds because he was a little tight because he was 6 weeks early. So it was Kimberly and I, sister Kim and I were there looking at this little. I just bawled, and then I think Gary came out, and I was just so happy. I believe I hugged Gary, and so no, I was just overwhelmed. But I don't know. You didn't have that same. I was fully alert. I didn't just give birth. I wouldn't have had any,
You
thing to.
have to go sit in recovery for an hour after until
Yeah.
your legs come back.
Till your legs.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They make you sit in recovery.
I don't remember much with Cody. Like I remember being in recovery and I was out of it, and then I remember the pediatrician coming in saying that they had to give Cody a spinal tap or something, and he continued to explain to me why. I don't know why he did, because I'm out of it. I don't remember a thing he said.
Yeah.
But yeah, like after I saw him after they pulled him out, and then after that it was like maybe 12 the next.
Oh, okay.
Afternoon.
So it was a while before you saw him.
Yeah. I remember Anita, Nana, and Coda came to visit me. And as soon as they walked in the room and asked how I was doing, I just started crying.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen him yet.
Yeah.
And I was worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But here
He's
he's
not good.
he's all good.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
All good. All boy. All
I
boy.
don't remember. I just remember when I did see him. I guess that was the first time he had the little cords. He had an IV in his head,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
because his little arm, everything was so small. Like, so it was the
Yeah.
only place they could find a good vein.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he was in the hospital for what, 11 days? I can't.
17.
17. Wow. 17 days. Yeah.
So I don't really remember.
But you know,
Oh.
to you, I know. That's so. See how I would have
I
to
was
try to
probably
remember.
like in a state of just kind of like not like shock
Yeah.
the whole time.
Lindsay's
Like,
been in a state of shock for, I would say, what, the last 5 years?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, man, like,
Yeah.
even the pregnancy, I don't remember much.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's like
You'll find that the more you go through life. Now, some people have excellent
I
memories.
know. I need to start writing stuff down.
I know. That's why a diary or something would be so
Yes.
good, because I
Feel bad.
can't remember. Like, you'll even say to me, Mom, remember this or remember that. Do you remember when I had, or this dollhouse or whatever?
Oh no.
And I'll be sad, I don't, because there's just too much to remember, too much time goes by, and I actually looked that up. Your brain will start discarding old memories to make room for new
Yeah.
memories. So if you want to keep some of those memories and you think, oh, this is so cool today, write it down so you can remember it.
Yeah, but then probably down the road, for me anyway, I'll read it and be like, what?
Yeah.
Where is this
Or you'll
from?
lose the book that you wrote it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So,
that's very likely for me too.
yeah.
Do you have any like? What's the other stuff you have? Like questions, like not so much about the actual child itself or like
Okay,
the birth,
but-
but like
You guys.
yeah,
Okay.
about like our.
Let's see here. Do you have, what is the hardest thing about being a mom?
I miss just being able to think about myself.
To be
that.
selfish,
I miss
yeah.
to be selfish. I miss
Yeah.
being able to be spontaneous. Like today,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run and go do this today.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, now I have to like think, oh, I can't go there because I'm gonna have Jack, and Jack misbehaves if we go out public.
Yeah.
Or like it's like always, I have to think about someone else before I can think about myself. And I
Yes.
miss just being able to be selfish, just to go and spend money frivolously because I want to,
That's
even
right.
though I never did.
No, she never did. She never did.
Just to have the option to do stuff and to not have to think about how that would affect somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can make a mistake, and it's not going to affect.
It's not going
someone
to
else.
affect you.
But
It's
now you have
just
to
you.
think so intensely, like, well, if I do this, if that doesn't go right, oh, that's really going to affect Jack. Or,
Yeah. There's
can't do
somebody
that.
else to
There has
consider above
always
yourself.
somebody else.
Yes.
That's my
Yeah.
biggest thing. I think is the hardest is having to adjust
Yeah.
to that.
hmm Mine is like, I don't really talk to anybody. anymore. It's like
Yes.
whenever,
Yes.
before I had Cody, I had so many friends. I went out and,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
wherever.
Life
and then
was fun. Yeah.
after Cody was born, it's just, like, there was one friend, actually, Becky, would always text me like, oh, hey, you want to go out and do this? You want to
Yeah.
do this? I'm like, I have Cody.
Yeah.
And even if it
Yeah.
would have been something that I could have taken him to, gotta pack a diaper bag,
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
pack extra clothes, gotta get Cody in the
You
car
can't
seat.
just
It's
be like, sure.
yeah,
Well,
it's
it's not
just
just,
so
you know,
much
yeah.
energy to just get out the door. Like,
Yeah.
like I miss having friends.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I seriously don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I know, that's another thing
Yeah.
too. That's why I had initially thought about this, because I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. You
Yeah.
know, I don't really have. Even though I know you're around, why don't I just reach out to Nikki?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would know.
Yeah.
It's just like you kind of find yourself in a bubble, and it's
Yeah.
easier to just stay in that bubble than
Yeah.
it is to try to reach out
Mhm.
to people, try to rekindle. Because when I got pregnant, I was 23, and pretty much all of my friends, except for you at that point, were not married, and
Yeah.
no
Or
one
had
had
kids.
kids. You know, that age group was still going out to the bar every other
Yeah.
weekend. You know, it's what most of that age group were doing it in
Yeah.
college. You know, doing. So whenever I got pregnant, I kind of lost all those friends. Kind of,
Yeah.
they were living their life,
Oh, yeah.
doing what they were doing, and I was kind of living a life that none of them had any idea
Mm-hmm.
of what that entailed. I couldn't relate to any of them. I didn't. A lot of my friends now, they have kids that are.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Trisha, too, like all her friends have babies
They're
at
all
the
having
same
it at the
time.
same
Oh, it's so
time.
nice. I wish I would have had that,
Yeah.
because it would have just been nice to be like, hey, talk to somebody and say, hey, I'm really feeling like crap today.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really wish I could do this today, but I can't. You know, just to
Yeah.
kind of wallow to it.
Someone you can wallow
Yeah.
with, and they're gonna feel
Yes.
sympathy and not saying, well, you did it to yourself.
Yeah, just someone to just be like, yeah, I know. I just need someone to coddle me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
didn't
and
have
Nikki
that.
can coddle each
Yeah,
other
yeah,
from
I'll
time to
coddle
time.
you.
Yeah, both of you can just
That's
coddle
true.
each other.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's right. It does suck not having to lose that base of friends, and now trying to rekindle that is hard, because
Yeah.
people's lives change, people move away, and
Oh, yeah.
people are now having their own kids and getting married, and that's just totally different.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's on their
everybody is
own,
on their own
concerned
path.
about their own life,
Yeah.
which they should be.
Yeah.
It's just hard. You got to really make an effort.
I remember talking to my mom once, and I'm pretty sure we were talking about the whole, like, no friends thing and all that, and she explained to me, like, and it made perfect sense, and I totally get it. Like, she said that they didn't have that responsibility.
No.
Right.
Like, you gotta admit, having a kid is a huge
The ultimate.
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yes.
Like, you gotta keep this thing alive.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotta
And you
feed
can't
it.
expect them to understand it. You
yeah.
can't expect them to.
You
No,
can't get mad at them
understand.
for not,
No.
so.
Nope.
No.
Until you go through that, you can't sympathize with somebody. You know?
No.
Mhm.
Just like anything, unless you've gone through it, you can think, I imagine that'd be hard. But until you actually go through it, there's no way to know.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Until you go through it, that's all it is imagining what it must
Yeah.
be like. It's
Mhm.
not understanding what it's
imagine
like.
how-
I can only imagine. And that, thankfully, there's some things in this life we only have to imagine how hard it is. for
Oh,
people.
yeah.
So we're quite blessed that we're just talking about children and not other things
Yes.
that
Yeah.
could go wrong. Lindsay, was there any of these questions you thought you would like to talk about? You talked, well, right there, what was the hardest thing about being a mom? What's the best part about being a mom? What's the thing that you find the best to be about a mom? Listen, it was so easy to think of
not
what
sure.
was the hardest, but my gosh, let's think of what is the best.
I guess just knowing that you're just seeing them grow up, you know, to know that you had a hand in building that little person into the person they're gonna be. You
Yeah.
help make them
Yes.
into
Yeah.
the person they're gonna be. Just to, I don't know. There's a sense of pride, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Like, I created this.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
part
and look,
of me.
I did it. Like, and part of it
Mhm.
is, you know, yeah.
And if they grow up and
Yeah.
and they come out of it unscathed, and
Yeah.
you can be happy and proud as long as they go out into the world and are good little human beings, and
Mhm.
you know, have a little heart. As
Yeah.
long as you instill goodness in them,
Yeah.
kindness, you know.
I think the best part for me is it doesn't happen very often, but whenever Cody says like he loves me or he misses me on his own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is
It is.
the
It's
greatest.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
I
know much
love
either.
it.
Yeah.
Or when at the end of the night, like between 9 and 9:30, that's when we sit on the couch and he watches Peppa and has his snack.
Yeah.
And like that's when he's the calmest at that time of the night.
Yeah.
Like he's calm for the most part. He sits and he watches TV and he wants me to come and sit on the couch with him. Or he'll
Yeah.
ask me. We read this little book about God.
Yeah.
Little kid book, and he'll be like, "Can we read the God book?"
The
Just,
God
just knowing that he likes that
Mm-hmm.
he remembers that, like just
Yeah.
that he, you
That's
know,
an evening ritual.
Yeah.
And he'll remember that.
and he likes to cuddle. That's the only time of the day that he's really like cuddly.
Yeah.
And he'll want me there right beside him,
hmm
you know.
Those are the
Yeah.
treasured times, the
And
treasured
to be
moments.
honest, a lot of the time though, it's not that. It's work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 98.5% of the time it is work.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's nice when you get that little bit that kind of makes it all
And,
worth it.
and it'll be work until they're out of the house. It'll be, I mean, there's always going to be work. It's just going to be different stages of work. So
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
get more freedom later, but there's going to be other things like running kids to sports or helping with homework or worried about who their friends are or what they're getting into. Once they have more freedom,
Oh yeah.
it gives you more freedom, but it also gives you more time to worry about what
Yeah.
they're doing with their
That's-
freedom.
And I'm one of those people that thinks so far ahead. Like I have an anxious personality thanks to the feather genes.
Yeah.
So I sit here and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like what's gonna. I find myself just thinking too far ahead. It's hard for me to live right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard for me to think. Just take one day at a time.
Just live in the
I
moment.
think about all this stuff that could happen, or you know.
Yeah.
I'm the same
That's
way
hard.
sometimes with certain things, like with
Mhm.
Cody and like Maya and stuff. Like Maya's still young, like although I could still like think into the future, but Cody's older now, so like, it worries me.
Yeah.
Like
I
not.
worry. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like oh, I hate being anxious about that stuff.
But he catches a school bus. You got to worry about the other kids on the bus.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
already
gosh.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
I remember whenever we lived across from the fairgrounds.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved that bus. I loved that bus driver. And then
Yeah.
whenever we moved over to the farmhouse, I'm like, oh my god. Like I was
Yeah.
so worried. I was like, are you gonna be okay on the bus? Like you're gonna let me know if something happens on
Oh,
the bus,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like whenever at Dan's, he had just moved into the Bedford School District. And last year he was riding 2 different buses. Like
Oh.
one in the morning and then
Yeah.
a different one in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it just switched to one bus, but that was, that's another bus that you have
Oh,
to worry
yeah.
about how the kids are.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
because kids
Yeah.
are so mean these days.
Well, they've always been mean,
See,
actually.
don't see. I'm
Always.
already gonna worry.
Already
Sorry.
been mean.
Sorry.
I am
I
actually.
have already thought about that. Mom, you thought about that years ago. What
I
are you
did.
doing? Are you gonna get that little boy on the bus?
Or even I mentioned to your dad.
I don't know.
I mentioned to your dad the other evening, I am so happy that Jack will not be starting kindergarten this year. I said, I don't have to worry about the bus quite yet.
Yeah, and if I'm still at Friendship Village, I don't go in till 9, so I'll just drop them off. You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where I'm in.
Yeah.
That's what I did with Zachary for years,
Yeah.
because he didn't like the bus. I would have loved to put him on the bus,
Yeah.
but he did not like the bus. So it was actually more convenient than going down to the foot of the lane, waiting for the bus to come.
Yeah.
We're 3 miles from the school.
Yeah. It's
Well, I guess the other school might be about 4 miles from. but-
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's long.
That's one of the other hard things is the constant, like, my mind is always, I feel like it's never at rest.
Yeah.
Like, I go to work
Mhm.
full time, and then that's a job.
That's a
And you
joke.
gotta worry about those responsibilities at work, and then you come home, and really, when you're working with the public, you really just need some time when you get home just to kind of detox, because
The
working
public's,
with people for a full shift,
it's not
It's a
fun.
lot.
even if it's good, even if you have good people,
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot of talking, it's a lot,
Yeah.
you gotta
Mhm.
remember a lot of stuff. So then when you come home, I'm like, oh man, I really would just like a good hour just to maybe calm down,
Mhm,
just to
yeah.
get my thoughts, just to relax. But then you don't get that. You gotta go pick up the kid, you gotta come home, and they're still like at energy level 100.
Oh, yeah.
They've been playing all day, and they're still ready to play.
Oh,
right? But I gotta calm down.
Yeah.
Give me like some time to calm down a bit. We don't get that. It's so fresh, and then you gotta make dinner and you clean, and then
Then it's bedtime.
it's like that your mind is always. I'm so tired all the time, and I keep thinking it's something. It's gotta be something, right?
She thinks
I have
she
low
is-
levels of
she
something.
has something
I have sleep
wrong
apnea.
with her.
There's something wrong with me. I sleep pretty well. I get a consistent amount of sleep, but I still feel tired.
Yeah.
You know,
That's because
I
mentally
think it's-
drained.
But
Oh,
mentally,
it's
I am always
mentally
on
tired
thinking about
causes.
things. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I get a sip of coffee, a sip. I can have, at work, I take this much coffee in a cup and then I pour the rest with water. Because I need to dilute it. Because I can't even handle the caffeine. It'll just make everything heighten even more. I'm
Oh my
like
gosh.
thinking,
Yeah, yeah.
this is how
Can
I
you
am.
tell she gets anxious? She has
Yeah.
anxiety issues?
So that's another thing. That's one of the hardest things is dealing with the constant mental stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes along with all the.
Yeah, you take after me because I can have no caffeine. None whatsoever.
I just want caffeine,
No,
but I
I'm
need to
just-
wake up. I need it to wake up. I can't even take it.
If I drink too much, if I drink coffee, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but if I drink coffee, it can only be 1 cup, and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
Yes.
If I drink any more than that, then it'll make me feel sick.
Okay.
And then, like, my hands get all
Yeah.
shaky, and, you know, but it doesn't give me energy.
Well, then
Or
it's no
anything.
point.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
So we need to come out with like a mom drink.
yes!
You can drink
Yes.
this and it'll make you less anxious, it'll give you energy, and you
Yeah.
will be great.
Yes.
We can be the spokespeople.
Yes!
Mom
Put my
drinks.
face on that drink.
And it'll be 2 happy faces
Yeah,
on the drink.
We're ready for this. I feel like Brady, he'll say, "Why are you so tired? How
Yeah.
can you be so tired?"
Do you hit him?
And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I do the whole spiel. I just worked all day, but I gotta think. Even at work, I'm thinking about the kid. What's he doing? Is he okay?
Yeah.
The kid's not. Then sometimes at work, I'm at work and I'm like, "Did I get Jack out of the car?
Did I get Jack out of the car
No,
like
he's
a
in the
panic?
babysitter." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why am I thinking of this?"
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like a split second, I have this panic.
Yeah.
What if he's in the back of my car still? You know?
When you hear about
Obviously,
that,
I know
it
he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I
Like,
did
I
that.
think it's crazy. Like, not to pass any judgment because I know
no
how.
judgment here, folks.
Yeah.
If,
Yes, no
if you've left
judgment.
your child in the car, there is no judgment.
No, because, like, what I've seen it called is mom brain.
Yeah.
Like, I've never done it, but
You can see maybe how it could happen.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
Because your mind is going like a mile a minute.
And now you have
And-
two. You have
Yeah.
two to think of.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's your brain is just thinking of all these different things, just going here and there.
Yeah.
You can see how you
Yeah.
could. I've never done it, had 4 kids. That doesn't mean anything. My brain was still intact for the first few.
But I can see how that could happen.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You can see how, I don't know. You can just yeah.
Yeah, there again,
That'd be
we
awful.
can't.
I can't even imagine that
No.
happening to somebody. That would just be
No,
awful.
that would just be.
You can imagine how it would happen. Your mind's just,
Your just
all
mind is
over
gonna-
the place. And then if, let's say you're off your routine, and maybe, I do the same thing pretty much every day of the week with him.
Yeah.
But if, let's say, for some reason that day's off and you have to take him somewhere else, or just that little bit,
Mhm.
Of
kinda
change,
throws you off.
yeah, where you're not in your element where you normally are. Yeah.
it would just be nice to, like, not think.
Well, you know what? I didn't think about that stuff when I was younger because I don't think that was that. You didn't hear of that happening.
Right.
But when I had kids, I didn't really worry about letting them in the car. Nobody gave you the thought that it would happen.
Yeah.
So, but now you hear about it occasionally, and it's broadcast, and of course it makes your mind go like to these deep dark places of horror. And but I was taking Jack. I picked up Jack, or I was taking him to Bernice's, and we had come from our fun weekly thing at Burger King,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking about 200 different things, and just you're thinking and you're driving, you're doing all these things, and you're taking them in and dropping them off. And you're getting back in the car and you're thinking about more stuff, and then all of a sudden it dawns on you, you don't remember dropping them off
Yeah.
for just a split second because you have been thinking about
Yeah.
what I need to do at the bank or the
Yeah.
store or whatever, and then all of a sudden you have a horror panic attack
Yes.
like,
Oh!
oh, wait, I did. I dropped him off. We're
Yeah.
okay.
So that's just a small bit of the things that go
Yeah.
through your head. So Birdie's like, well, what could be?
Yeah.
What's going on? What? I can't stop thinking. That's it. I can't stop. And it's not even that I sit here and mull over that stuff all day. It's not like I
Yeah.
sit here and worry.
No.
But like, it is there. There's
It's
in the
always
back
there.
of my head. There's always stuff
Yeah.
spinning. And
Yeah.
throw work into that, and then
Mhm.
it's just
It's
a-
constant.
Then you got to come home. And you still got to. There's still stuff you got to responsible for at your house, cooking, cleaning,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is a never-ending thing.
Laundry.
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 It's
I
daunting.
hate laundry.
Laundry's always going to be there.
Yes, but it never. And there again, I think too far. And I'm like, man, the dishes are never going to end.
They will never.
I'm sitting there thinking, I do this every day.
Day.
And I don't have a dishwasher, and I just do this continuously.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna do this continuously.
Forever.
I like to think that like when you die, there's like a tally of all the stuff you had to do.
Yeah.
Like I had
I'm
to
sure-
do laundry
Yeah.
4,367 times in my life.
How many dirty underwear have
Yeah.
I washed?
man.
When all your kids were still at the house, and your dad would always be bringing these dirty work clothes home, and you kids, and between sports and activities and all that, my laundry room never saw the floor. The floor never saw the light of day. There was always, any given point, if I walked down to the laundry room, there was always mounds of laundry. Not that I wasn't doing it, I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, now see,
I
That's
mean,
just-
yeah, that's just craziness. That was with 4 of you kids, your dad, his work clothes.
see, that's a full-time job in itself. Like,
Yes.
you can understand why some women, of course, choose to be housewives. There's no other option. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How can you have a family that big and still work? Both of
Well,
you
that's
work.
just it. And
It's-
some people don't have the choice.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have had the choice that if I just wanted to
Part-time.
part-time would have
Nice.
been the ideal thing. The part-time, that way you could still get your stuff done at the house. But owning a business, or at that time I didn't own it, but it was almost, I probably worked 40 hours a week with you kids when,
That's a lot.
that was a lot, so, yeah.
Wow.
But thankfully, it was a job that I could take off if I needed to take off,
Yeah.
or go in for half a day if I needed to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a worry.